Today's subject is going to be on crying babies. And you can look at crying babies. Why do babies cry? And one of the major things that we've dealt with over the years is colic. Colic seems to be the subject, I think, if you're going to see crying babies, that's going to come up. So this section will be on colic. We have lots and lots of information on colic and our websites and so on, so you'll be able to get a lot of information on it. But crying babies is associated with colic. So what is colic? We just want to kind of cover the basics of colic, but colic is a digestive problem, and it's diagnosed by 3 hours of unconsolable crying that starts at 3 weeks and ends in 3 months. None of that is true. It starts before birth, and it just seems to go on for years. So we have information, and we've written a book, and there's a lot of information in that book. We will refer you to that as well. So we're going to give you a brief idea of what colic is. Colic is a digestive issue that starts in the intestine. It's the lower intestines, where there's a valve between the small intestine and the large intestine. The end of the small intestine is called the ileum, and the large intestine is called the cecum. And it's a cone-shaped valve, and that valve is supposed to open up and dump from the small intestine into the large intestine. Then after that starts to fill up in the large intestine, it's supposed to close and shut off. But what it's doing is leaking just a little bit, and what's already digested goes back into that small intestine, and it tries to begin to redigest. And there's a whole series of problems that occur with that, but the one that happens the most is it bloats them all up. And when it bloats them up, then that intestine dilates, and then it tries to contract, and then there's a tremendous amount of pain. So there's a whole series of things that goes on with the colic issue. But our objective is to fix that problem, not to cover it up. And there's lots of different things that the patients have been told to do: gas drops, colic calm, simethicone drops, all kinds of things. And these things really do not work because it's not an upper problem, it's a lower problem. And obviously the answer is we have to fix the underlying problem. Means we have to strengthen that muscle. That's what this is going to be all about, is to strengthen that muscle and get rid of that. And it usually takes approximately 10 visits. And it's a simple technique. It's a very non-aggressive type of technique, and the baby really gets better very, very fast. So this information on crying babies, why are we so interested in it? Because what it does is it leads to death in many cases because of shaken baby and this type of thing. So there's all kinds of literature on what's going on out there with that. So at this point, crying babies, colic. So if you go to our website, go to our information, and go to our book, you'll see there's tons and tons of information. If you have any questions, you can always call our office, and I'd be happy to explain it to you.